Hello there, my name's Rob Hammond. You may know me from previous videos I made on Julian Huxley and Aldous Huxley. But this video is about Donald Trump and other related topics that are quite important. I'd say very important actually. And unlike most of my other videos, this one might be a bit personal to some people. I don't aim to deliberately offend, but I need to say my piece on this. The last video I made was actually on transsexual children, transgender children. So that might have been a bit personal, but I think this one may be a bit more. But it's something that needs to be said. This whole Donald Trump phenomena that's happening is very interesting, and some very interesting reactions to Donald Trump. As for the man himself, I'm not particularly interested in his personal life, whether he's a saint or not, or anything like that. I'm more interested in the general population's reaction to him. I find it very interesting. Some of it's positive, some of it's not so positive, and is quite revealing actually. So, but before I actually go on with this subject, I want to say that we should all take Facebook and YouTube and Google Video and things like that quite seriously when we're publicly speaking. Because when you do it, like I'm doing it, you do put your neck out on the line for other people to view, watch and judge you. So it is a very personal thing that you're doing, you know. I remember watching one YouTube video and somebody was saying, you know, we sit in the comfort of our own homes and places like that, and we think that we're safe, but when we put these videos out in public, anyone can see them, and so I take that seriously. And I'd also like to thank, even though I've never met them, Thomas Sheridan, a researcher that I've been looking at, is very good. And a chap who's relatively new to me, Stefan Monolux, and I've probably said his surname wrong because you know what I'm like if you know my other videos, I'm rubbish at pronouncing names. And another guy called Mark Colliet, I think his name is. Probably said his surname wrong as well, but these were very good people. I looked at their YouTube videos and I learnt a lot. So my apologies if I said their surnames wrong as well. So let's continue. Yeah, first and foremost, I'm not a racist. I never was, never will be, and I'm hoping that free-thinking, intelligent people will be watching this video, because this video really is about freedom. Freedom of speech and freedom of expression, you know, as well as Donald Trump. Because, and you may not think it connects, but basically, let's look at my basic belief system when it comes to freedom of expression and speech. I basically believe anybody has the right, man or woman, to walk down the street and wear what style of clothing they want. Style their hair how they want, dye it, wear what makeup or jewellery they want. They have the right to preach what they want. They can express whatever belief system, religion, philosophy they want, and they can promote it and they can spread it. And they can disagree, they can agree to disagree as well, and all of that. I really hold those values quite high. Almost without really consciously knowing it. So whether you're a man or a woman, that's fine. I almost expect it, you know, as a complete normality, as a white Western man. But again, people have the right to express exactly what they want to. Verbally, they can wear exactly what they want to. even if it's totally against somebody or controversial to somebody else's religion, their belief system, their philosophical views, and culture and race. This is freedom. Understand, that's the price of freedom. It's the freedom to do that. And as Westerners, we hold this value very high. A lot of people do. At least we should. And this goes on to something years ago. About a year ago, I saw in the paper about, and this is a good way to break this conversation in. It was a chap who was obsessed with the SS, the Nazi SS. He loved the uniform. He loved the style. I think he was interested in the history of it. Was it Goebbels and Hitler and all of his crew? He had books. He had pictures on his wall of the guys in the SS uniform with a swastika and everything. And he would go out dressed like an SS officer, with the boots and everything, and the red swastikas on his shoulders. And he would go. He was seen in a public supermarket with his shopping trolley, dressed like an SS officer. He almost probably looked surreal. But he was minding his own business. I think he had grandchildren with him, or he had grandchildren anyway. So, and he was doing that, and that is what I'm talking about by the price of freedom. He has the right to dress that way. He has the right to have whatever philosophy he has from that. And he has the right to, if you ask him, to tell you what he thinks. And he has the right to stand in a town with books on it, preaching that. Now, I disagree with, or I most likely disagree with his belief systems. I don't support the likes of Hitler and people like that. I don't believe in that philosophy of a master race. I don't believe in that at all. So this is important to express before I go on, because as I said, one of my favourite philosophers is J. Krishnamurti, who was Indian. He's probably one of the best. So, and then another one of my best philosophers is Nietzsche, who was German, of course. You see. Plus, I love Gandhi, and I admire Gandhi, and I admire John Lennon. So this is what I'm saying. And this is also an important thing to bring up. Adolf Hitler and those like him failed massively when it came to my value system on personal freedom of expression. Because he may have been an interesting guy at one point. He may have been a bit eccentric. Don't have a problem with that. And if his only intentions were to pass his belief systems, philosophies, as shocking and controversial as they would have been to many people, if that was his only goal, through non-force, then I don't have a problem with that. If he was genuine, if he didn't want to force anything on anyone, that would have been fine. I would have sat with him in a German beer hall and picked his brain. And then we could have, went back, and I could have admired his paintings and stroked his dogs and had some schnapps with him or something. If he was a little bit controversial, very, very controversial, odd, eccentric, interesting, but didn't at all want to harm anyone, that would be a very different story with Adolf Hitler. But he failed massively in my value system, because he forced himself on other people. He decided that others that he viewed inferior didn't have the rights to freedom. They didn't even have the rights to live. He incarcerated them. He physically enslaved them, and he killed them. And this is, of course, the Jewish population, Germany at the time, as well as gypsies and things like that. So he forced his master race beliefs on them in the expression of genocide, and that is a massive fail in my book, and it's very important to bring this up as we continue on these videos, so that people understand where I'm coming from. Again, I've got my notes as usual. I'll try and prepare for them, but I've tried to prepare for this one more because I really want to present myself professionally. As I said, I don't aim to offend, but I aim to get this out there. So let's talk about that in part 2.